Hello everyone, welcome back to my Max channel. For today's video lesson, I will discuss question 21 to 30 for trial exam Johor 2020 paper 1. I really hope that my sharing do help you to improve and excel in mathematics. Before I start my class, I would like to dedicate my appreciation to Mr. Olsen Call for his PowerPoint slide. Okay, let's get started with the class. For question 21, express k in terms of r. So we need to make sure the k square remain at the left side. So we'll shift the 9r to the right. So end up we have 2k square equal to 18r minus 9r. So 2k square equal to 9r, and then k square is equal to 9r over 2. And finally, k is square root 9r over 2. And square root of 9, you'll get 3, right? So you'll be 3, and then the rest you just square root r over 2. Okay, for the question 22 is about the indices. Okay, for indices, we need to focus to the same base and the power on top. You have to multiply. So let's focus to the p power 4 first. We'll do slowly, step by step. So you copy down p power 4, and then the inside the bracket one, you have to make sure you take the power and multiply before you divide by q to the power of negative 3. Okay, let's copy down p power 4 and multiply first. Okay, you need to make sure you write the base and the power nicely. Okay, the power must raise up a bit. Alright, so now we need to settle inside the bracket. So the 16 is a number, and you notice that 16 there is no power. It doesn't mean that it's no power, it's actually power 1. So you have to write 16 power 1 times the 1 over 4. So it becomes 16 1 over 4. Okay, understand? So the power you have to multiply according to the indices law. Remember, a power m times n equal to a power n times m. Okay, there's an indices law when you multiply the power. So whenever you see power, we will multiply. Same thing apply to p. P is a power 8, right? The index is 8. So you take the 8 times the 1 over 4. Okay, so you simplify like this. So it's p 8, copy down first. Okay, and then write nicely. And make sure you multiply carefully because the number is a bit small. So we tend to make careless mistake, right? Okay, so you will copy down like this. So it's p to the power of 8 times 1 over 4. And then you will divide by q to the power of negative 3. Alright, so now your indices with the same base, you have to simplify. Okay, the q negative 3, when you bring up, you become positive 3, right? Remember, there's a law a negative n equal to 1 over a power n. Okay, so when you bring down, it will be negative. Same thing when you bring up, it will be positive, right? Okay, you can always apply two direction for the formula. Okay, so now we will focus to the same base. We have p power 4, right? And also we have the p 1 over 4 times 8 is 2, right? P2, right? So we will multiply the Q3 because Q is the only one that with the base Q. So the 16 to the power of 1 4, this one you can write as 2 to the power of 4 times 1 over 4. Or maybe you can use a calculator. You will get the answer from the calculator, I'm sure. Okay, so you can always press your calculator. So if you want to show the proper steps, this should be the way. It's actually 2 power 4 times 1 over 4, so you can cancel out the 4, right? And 1 over 4 you can cancel out, become 1. And this one is 8 times 1 over 4, right? Alright, so you also have to simplify like this. Clear? So you have to simplify until the simplest form. Alright, then the same base you have to plus when it is multiplied. Remember, a m times a n is equal to a m plus n, right? Okay, so now we will focus to the same base, which is p power 4 and the p power 2 will plus. Alright, so the rest we will just simplify and we will get the answer. Okay, so that is the proper step to do the indices. Alright, so make sure you try to pick up the proper way to do indices, because nowadays I don't think they will set the question whereby you can press a calculator. Alright, so p power 4 times p power 2, you will take p4 plus 2. Alright, so that is the indices law. When you multiply the 2 with the same base, you will plus with the index 4 plus 2. And then the 2 power 4 and 1 over 4, you can actually simplify to become 2, right? Alright, so finally your answer will be 2. We have a number 2, we write the number in front. Okay, so we have 2, and then we have p power 6 and q power 3, right? Okay, so that is how you actually simplify the indices to the simplest form. Okay, finally we will write down the answer. 2 times the p power 6 and then times the q power 3, right? Okay, so the last answer, actually you can just write 2p power 6 q3. You don't have to show multiply. Okay, understand? Alright, so I think everyone can understand because I purposely delay the slide so that you can follow well. So for those of you who are good, actually I think you got no problem. You can finish it very fast. Those of you who still wonder how to do, you can follow my video teaching. Okay, you can start to learn now, so that next year you won't be having any problem with the basic of mathematics. Alright, so this is the answer. 2p power 6 q power 3. Okay, I write in red color. Can you see that? Okay, no problem. So we have solved the indices. Okay, we have simplified the indices to the simplest form. So the next question, okay, that I will discuss is also indices. So let's do it together. Okay, so this one is you are asking to find the value of 1, 2 over 3 times 3, 6 over 7 to the power of negative 1. So let's simplify according to the answer given. Because if you press a calculator, maybe the answer is not the same with the answer given in the ABCD, right? So basically when you see power negative 1, you just leave it first, and then you will take the fraction. Okay, you have to simplify the fraction first. We have two fractions inside, right? So let's simplify the fraction first. Okay, so normally when you simplify the mixed fraction, we always take there are two fractions multiplied by each other, right? So we will take the denominator down first, right? So the 3 and 7 remain. Okay, then the top one you have to take 1 times 3 plus 2, which is 5, isn't it? Okay, can follow? Okay, so 1 multiplied by 3 and then plus 2, right? Alright, so you have to write like this. Okay, so 3 times 1 plus 2, okay? And then the next one will be, what is the answer? 3 times, you have to multiply and then you plus a 6. Okay, let's go. 3 times 7, right? And then you have to plus the 6. Okay, we do it carefully. We actually don't want to depends on calculator nowadays. I know you like to use a calculator and press to get the answer, but in fact actually nowadays we encourage you to use our brain calculator to do. Okay, so we have 5. Okay, 3 plus 2 is 5, right? And then we have the 7 times 3, 21, isn't it? 21 plus 6. So we want to simplify. Okay, it will become 5 times 27. Alright, and the down one we will multiply also. You will get 3 times 7, right? Alright, so okay, so you can just take the two number and multiply, and then you will simplify to the simplest form. Okay, so let's simplify. Before we solve the power, which is -1, we always solve the number in the bracket first, which is actually after you simplify, you will get 27 divided by 3 is 9, isn't it? 9 times 5 will be 45. So you will get 45 over 7 to the power of -1. Alright, so when you have a -1, you have to bring down, isn't it? It become 1 over, right? 1 over 45 over 7 with the power +1, because you bring down the fraction. So the index will become positive. So then if you try to inverse a fraction, it will become 7 over 45. Understand? Okay, when 1 divided by 45 over 7, you have to convert to 1 multiplied by 7 over 45. So finally your answer is 7 over 45. Okay, so that is the final answer for question 23. Alright, so I hope that you follow the step well, and always double check the careless mistake, so that you will be always be perfect scorer. Okay, so let's proceed to the next question. The next question is a bit hot. Okay, diagram 11 shows a logo formed by 5 identical regular pentagon with side. Okay, calculate the perimeter in centimeter of the logo. Okay, now let's focus to the side of the pentagons. Okay, the keyword is pentagons, and it is regular pentagons, which means all the sides are the same, isn't it? So now we need to actually find the perimeter in centimeter of the logo. So when you want to do perimeter, you have to label all the sides. Okay, so all the sides, how many? 7 altogether. Okay, just count the side and then you times with the 7, isn't it? Now let's count together how many sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Yes, we have 17 sides with a length of 7 centimeter. Now let's copy down all the sides, 7 centimeter, and then we will times with the 17. Okay, so instead of you write 17 times, okay, you plus 1 by 1 is actually wasting your time. So we will use multiply, okay, which is faster. Okay, so we will take 7 centimeter times 17. So now you can actually press the calculator and then write down the answer. Okay, the unit must be in centimeter. Alright, so the answer is 119 centimeter. Alright, are you getting this answer? Okay, so I'm sure you will get the answer, right? Everyone can do well for perimeter for the pentagon. So well, good job. So let's proceed to the next question. So actually max is easy, it's just that you need to be more careful. Alright, so next diagram given, which of the following graphs represent y equal to x plus 5 and x minus 3. Okay, so the moment you see the quadratic function, you must know is happy or sad. Is it happy? Is it sad first? So how to know is happy or sad? You need to find the coefficient of the x squared, the number in front of the x squared. Do you know what it means by coefficient? Coefficient is actually, let's say here you have, expand carefully, your y is x squared plus 2x minus 15, right? So you look at the x squared, the number beside the x squared, okay, is 1, isn't it? Yes, so it's 1, so it's positive. 1 is positive, so it's a shape of U shape, so it's a happy face. Are you happy? Yes, it is a U shape, so you are happy, right? So now we will choose the one with a happy face, but we have two happy face. So then we will focus to the x-intercept and the y-intercept later on. So we will reject C and D first. Okay, C and D are not happy. Okay, sad, negative, very negative minded, very sad. So we need to stay positive, always happy. Okay, so now you have to find the y-intercept, and the y-intercept is let your x 0, you will get negative 15. So which one will have negative 15 for y-intercept? If both are the same, then we have to find the x-intercept. So the x-intercept is just find the roots. Okay, when y 0, what are the value of the x? Okay, so when y 0, you will get x plus 5 equal to 0. So x equal to negative 5, right? X minus 3 equal to 0. X equal to positive 3. Yes. So that are the two roots. Roots means the x-intercept. Okay, remember roots means the line or the curve, the quadratic curve cut the x-axis. Root is also means x. Okay, so now we will proceed to question 26. For question 26, diagram 12 shows a number line. Which of the following simultaneous inequalities is the solution of the number line? So, okay, when you look at the line, it seems like it starts from negative 2 and then end at 4. And then at the negative 2, you have a circle which is blank. Okay, and the line is going to the right. And at the 4, you have a solid circle which is actually the line is actually going to the left. So by looking at the circle which is blank, so we will say we will start with negative 2, and we look at the line is actually to the right, which is greater, right? No equal sign. Okay, because you look at the circle which is empty, so that means it's not inclusive of -2, and the line is going to the right, so it should be more than -2. And this one is actually the solid, all right, solid circle. Okay, it's darkened, so and the line is to the left less. Remember what I say? And because the circle is solid, so we make it less equal, okay, because the line is to the left. Alright, so if no fill, the circle no fill, no equal sign. Remember, if the circle is filled, is darkened, then you must have the equal sign. Okay, you study the line. If the line is heading to the right, it will be more than. If the line is heading to the left, you will choose less than. And if it is filled with darkened, okay, we will actually write the equal sign with equal sign. All right, so with that we will choose which answer. Of course we have to solve first. Okay, so -2 minus 6 less than 4x, we'll choose the one with the less than. So now we will actually simplify. It will become 4x more than -8. That means x is more than -2. So it looks like okay, right, for the A. And how about this side? Okay, 3x plus x less than 16, right? So it becomes 4x less than 16. But I think this one we don't do because there is no equal sign, isn't it? But we try to simplify, and then we will still cannot choose this as the answer because there is no equal sign, right? Okay, so that means for x more than -2 is okay, but for x less than 4 is not okay for A, right? So we reject the A. It's not the same because of the equal sign. All right, so now we will proceed to the other answer, and we try to work out which one is the right answer. So the A was wrong. Now let's try another one. Okay, we will try to solve every question, and we try to find the right answer. All right, okay, so let's do B. X more than, if I look at that, more than equal -2, I think it's already wrong. So, and then for x less than 4 is also wrong. For B, both are wrong, so we will reject B for sure. Okay, let's proceed to the next one. So the B were rejected because both answers are wrong. So we will do the next one. We will proceed to the C. Hopefully we will get the answer. Okay, now let's have a look of the C. And the D, I don't think we can get the answer. You look at the inequality sign, it was wrong. So for C, okay, we have the 4x more than -8, so x more than -2. All right, for this side we have x less than equal 4x less than equal 16. That means x less than equal 4, right? Yes, this is the right answer. Okay, so we will choose C as the best answer for question 26, right? Alright, so that is how you solve the inequality. Okay, remember, when there is no field, there is no equal sign. No field means the circle is empty. It's not shaded. It's not darkened. Then if filled with the darkened or shade, so we will have equal sign. Okay, so the right answer is C. So let's work out the D. We will want to find out why it is wrong. So if you check actually the inequality sign was wrong. It shouldn't included -2 because there is no field, no equal sign. Okay, so the circle is empty, right? Not darkened. so there is no equal sign. So for your information, when there is a circle without fill, it's nothing, it's empty. So you must make sure you don't include the number. There's no equal sign. When it is filled or it is darkened or shaded, then you have to put equal sign. That means you have to take in the number there. As for example here, we have to take in the 4. Alright, so make sure you understand the symbol for the inequalities, because if after long time you never practice, you tend to forget, right? So it's actually good that you keep on practice so that you won't make careless mistake. Alright, okay, so good. Now let's proceed to the next question, which is 27, also inequalities. So 3x minus 2 less than 8 and 5. Okay, actually how you read the inequality, you should read like this. Y more than 5 and less than equal 12 are two simultaneous linear inequalities. Where x and y are integers, find the maximum value of y minus x. This is a hot question because you need to think how to get the answer. So in order to find maximum value of y minus x, the biggest number of the difference between y and x, so that means the y must be the biggest, alright, and the x must be the smallest, right, so that you can get the biggest value. So now the concept is you must list out the x and list out the y, alright. So please remember, maximum value of y, so that means you have to choose the biggest value of the y. When you list out, you choose the biggest one, okay, and then you minus the minimum value of x, okay, the lowest, the smallest value of x. That is the concept before you can find the maximum value of difference between y and x. Different, we say y minus x. So let's list down the x and list down the y, and then after that we will choose accordingly for the biggest value of y and biggest value of y and the smallest value of the x. Okay, now start. We list down the x. 3x minus 2 less than 8, right? We have to solve the inequalities and we have to list down all the x value using the inequalities. So we have 3x less than 8 plus 2, right? You bring to the right. So you have 3x less than 10. So that means x will be less than 10 over 3, right? Okay, so we have to use a line number so that we will choose the integer which is less than 10 over 3, right? Okay, understand? So now let's see x less than 10 over 3. 10 over 3 is 3.333. You write in decimal, easy for you to list down the x, right? So in this case, we will list down the x value, right? So that later we can actually choose the value and substitute into y minus x. So if less than 3.333, the integer, which is the biggest one, should be 3. Okay. And the minimum value will be negative infinity, means that it will be the number which is actually less than 3. Okay, maybe you have many number, but you will call as negative infinity because we can't express. Alright. Okay, now we want to list down the y. So y is more than 5 and less than equal 12. So if you list down, your maximum should be 12 for y. And you can list down from 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 to 12. But we just want to focus to the biggest value. So the biggest value should be 12, isn't it? So we will choose maximum value of y is 12. And do you know the minimum value of y? It should be 6, isn't it? Because you cannot consider 5. 5 is not inclusive. Okay, now we need to find the maximum value of y minus x. So now we go back to the question. We will choose a maximum value of y. Just now we have actually list down already, which is actually 12, right? So the 12 is the biggest value, alright, for y. So we will take 12 and then we will minus out the minimum value of x. So how to choose the minimum value of x is actually you can actually based on the answer and choose, right? So because it's actually is a negative infinity, it means the value is actually become a very small number to the left, right? So it's negative infinity. So now how to solve this? Okay, so the answer will become 12 plus infinity, right? So it become a very big number. You understand? You don't understand? Okay, example. Let's say x less than 3.333. Okay, we want to find a smaller number for x less than 3. So you cannot tell me which one is the smaller number. The smallest number. You can say negative 1000, negative 2000. I would say no. Is negative a very big number? So it's actually a negative a very big number, which is means that you can't express. You can negative 1 million, no. Okay, negative 1 trillion, no. We cannot express. It's a very big number. So hence we put negative infinity. So it's a very big number. So when 3 minus a very big negative number, it becomes a very big positive number. So it becomes a infinity number. Okay, do you understand? Okay, I hope so. Now we proceed to the next one. Alright, 28. Table 2 shows a cumulative frequency table for t-shirt size of the students in a class. So we have t-shirt S, M, L, XL, and XXL, and the cumulative frequency to 18, 28, 33, and 36. So a number of t-shirts of new students are added to the data, and the new mode of t-shirt size is L. Determine the minimum number of the new students. So how to do this question is you must know the frequency of L size t-shirt. Okay, now it must be the highest because it is the mode. Alright, so let's list down the frequency. Be careful, don't be trapped by the cumulative frequency. So now let's come up with a new table with the frequency. So that's how you work out the frequency. You must take the cumulative frequency minus out the previous frequency like this. So that means for the S, size S you have 2, and then for M you take 18 minus 2, which is 16, right? For L you have 28 minus 18, which is 10. For XL you have 33 minus 28, which is 5. And for XXL you have 36 minus 33, which is 3, right? Okay, so now you look at the frequency of the L size t-shirt. Okay, it's just 10 only. So how can the L become the new mode of t-shirt? Right. So that means we need to increase the 10 to at least the highest there was 16. So the 10 now should become 17. Alright, so it must be a minimum number. So we cannot simply give the number. So because the highest there was 16, so we can only choose 17, one higher than the size M. Okay, so now the size L become the mode if it is 17. Okay, the minimum number of the new student. So beginning the L was 10, so now you need to increase to 17. So that means you need to find the difference. You have to take the 17, right? You have to minus out the 10, which is actually originally 10, right? So 17 you minus 10. So that means you need to add the 7 new students so that the size L will become the highest frequency. Okay, so if 17, that means the mode will be the t-shirt size L. Understand? So you must really know how to apply the concept. Actually, the word minimum is very important, you know. So the minimum actually telling you that you must choose the frequency that is one higher than the maximum frequency there, right? Understand? Okay, so we'll proceed to the next question. Question 29. Okay, table 3 shows the results of a competition. So you are given the score and frequency times the score. Score is actually X for statistics, and the frequency times score is Fx. So 55 participants already took part in the competition. Okay, for this question is really challenging because it seems like you have to think how to do. It's very hard. So basically you have to come up with a table so that you can see the frequency, because you are given the total participant is 55 students, right? So that means the total frequency was given. So what you need to do is, since you are having the frequency times the score, which is given, so and also score, so that means you can find the frequency, right? So how to find the frequency is you take the frequency times the score divided by score. Alright, so let's say the frequency for the student whose score is 0 is actually X. So if I take X times to the 0, I will get the M. So I can say X times 0, I get 0, right? So I can say M is 0, right? Alright, so that's how I solve the M. So M is 0, let's say. So then you just multiply. Because frequency times the score is equal to M, so that means the frequency X times with the 0 is equal to M. So hence, anything times the 0 is 0, right? So hence, I can say M is equal to 0. So I have solved the M ready. Now I need to find the frequency for score with the 1, with the 2, with the 3 and 4. So how to find the score is you take the frequency times the score divided by score. Alright, so 15 over 1, 15, 24 over 2, 12, 36 over 3, 12, and the last one, the frequency is n divided by 4, right? Okay, now we add up all the frequency, which is x plus 15 plus 12 plus 12 plus n over 4 equal to 55. Alright, that is how we work out the total frequency. Alright, because we are given the total frequency, which is 55. So now we take all the frequency for every score from 0 to 4. We plus the frequency one by one. Okay, so then we will get x plus 15 plus 12 plus 12 plus n over 4 will be equal to 55. Alright, equal to 55 because there are 55 participants. Okay, so now we can actually write down the equation that actually connecting x and the n, right? So finally, if you simplify, you will get an equation, okay, for the n and the x. Alright, So then you can actually try to work out the answer from the equation. Now let's try to add up all the frequency. Okay, x plus 15 plus 12 plus 12 plus n over 4 is equal to total participant is 55, right? So so we'll take n over 4 is equal to 55 minus x minus 15 minus 12 minus 12. So finally our equation will be n over 4 is equal to 16 minus x, right? So then we will actually express our n in terms of x. So that means n is 4 times 16 minus 4x, which is equivalent to 64 minus 4x. So we can only say that when x is 0, n is 64 based on the equation, right? So if x is 1, then n will be 60. If x is, you substitute x 2, then n will be 56. And x equal to 3, n will be 52. So you substitute one by one, and you can see the list like this. So I think that is how we solve this question. Alright. So this question is quite interesting, and actually is telling us that when we do something, we must do it right, and we must find out the right way to find the answer, so that we can solve the mathematics problem in a better way. Alright, so you can always explore a different way to get the answer. So this is part of the hot skills. Alright, so okay, now let's proceed to the question 30. So diagram 13 is a pie chart of the distribution of Adam's income in March. So let's have a look of the pie chart. Alright, the pie chart shows food 30%, entertainment 12%, savings 8%, transportation 18%, personal loan is not given, others 7%. The question: in April, Adam wants to increase 5% from his income as saving by reducing his expenses, okay, on entertainment. Calculate Adam's expenses on entertainment in April in Ringgit Malaysia if his total income is 3,500. Alright, let's see how to do. Alright, we start with the 5%. 5% from his income. Okay, the keywords is 5% of his income. So we will take 5% and then we will try to multiply with the total income. Okay, and then we will find out the amount that going to increase. So 5% times Ringgit Malaysia 3,500 is equivalent to Ringgit Malaysia 175 ringgit. So that means Adam will try to increase 175 ringgit for his saving. So the question is asking about the amount of the money spent for entertainment, okay, in April. Okay, so we need to know the entertainment actually how much first. So it's 12%, right, of the total 3,500. So after you calculated, you get the entertainment is 420, right? Now because Adam need to increase his saving, right? So by 5%, right? So after you calculated, the saving is 175, and this 175 actually must deducted from the entertainment, because the question say reducing, okay, from the entertainment. So okay, as you calculated just now, 12% of the 3,500. So actually, in fact, Adam spent 420 before that. Okay, so it's quite a lot, right? So now he need to uh, save more money, so he need to spend less on entertainment. So you have to take the entertainment's expenses minus out the 175. Okay, so that means now Adam will spend just 245 ringgit for the entertainment. That means Adam will have to save money and less spend on maybe like go to cinema or go to shopping. All this entertainment must be reduced, so then he can manage to increase his saving by 5%. All right, understand? So that is how the question asks you about the um, increase the saving 5% by reducing the money from the entertainment for 175 ringgit. All right, so finally your answer should be 245. I hope you understand. So that's all my sharing for about 10 questions for objective. All these are quality questions. So I really hope that my sharing do help you to improve your mathematics, and I really hope that you will get A plus in the coming next year exam. Till then, I shall see you in my next video lesson. Bye bye and have a nice day.